This is a 5 kilowatt Samsung air source heat pump. This is being installed into this property next to me. Got it out so you can have a quick look at it. It's going to be going up against this wall, obviously leaving a gap for decent airflow behind it. Pipes will run up to the wall, through the holes up there, and then chase through the loft space, and then they'll drop down into the plant room on the inside of the property. Alright, we take this old inefficient electric boiler off the wall and fit it with a nice new air source. It'll be more economical to run. Hot water unit's going to stay because it's only feeding one individual shower, so it's a bit of an overkill and a waste to have a big cylinder sat in there. So this one will be producing heating only, and should be fairly straightforward. You can obviously see pretty quickly how dirty that is. Oh wow. Yeah, sort of be exactly the same on that one as well. Yeah, that's what really. It might be that there wasn't an inhibitor in there. Could be quite a few things. So, you know, give it a good flush out and a clean out with the DS40 cleaner, which it'll be clean as anything within an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, something like that.
So it just makes it more efficient.
Yeah, obviously doesn't clog the unit outside as well as much. So, you know, nice fresh water running through it as opposed to a discoloured dirty water, because it doesn't take much to block those outdoor units. And then it becomes a flushing through the outdoor unit, and you may as well do it whilst it's drained like this and have done with it. I say whilst that's cleaning, we can still get all the pipes through, get them all the way down and get everything rerun and done, and then yeah, everybody's a winner. Takes about an hour for it to break down. We check the filter, then we leave it for another hour, and then we just keep checking the filter till it's clear. So Craig's been installing this. We've done loads of jobs with Craig over the years. He's been doing heat pumps about the same amount of time as me, a couple of decades thereabouts. We don't install ourselves at Alto. We always work with a local tradesman that knows what they're up to. Someone like Craig can come in and can do all the pipe work, all the installation work, and on our side we do all the admin, all the stuff that really someone like Craig, I'd imagine, doesn't want to go near. There's a lot of work doing MCS. You know, the installation is part of it. Installation might take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days depending on the job. All the paperwork and admin can easily take a couple of weeks to get sorted out. So, you know, working together with installers is, we find, the best way to do it, rather than trying to do it all ourselves or dump all the admin onto them. What is it that's good about working with Alto Energy, if I could put you on the spot?
I like how simple everything is in terms of you do all the design, you spec everything. It just allows people like me to focus on an install as opposed to having to do all the background work as well.
All the tedious paperwork.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, it just makes it nice and simple. I think every time sort of something goes in, it works every time, first time. Nothing ever seems undersized, it always just seems to work. A few others tend maybe not to.
Okay.
So yeah, it's I just know it's going to work.
Yeah, happy days.
More than anything.
Good.
It just takes a lot of risk out of it.
The installers have been here the last couple of days doing the installation. We're just here today to commission it. So as you may or may not be able to hear, the heat pump is now up and running. Heating is starting to go on inside the building. So we'll go in there, we'll have a look at what's gone on inside. So we've just been out with the external unit. As we said before, the pipes run up through the wall outside, up through the roof, and then down here into the corner of the plant room. Blake is one of our commissioning engineers, just going through the commissioning process at the minute. Maybe you can just sort of walk us through what's in the cupboard.
In the cupboard you've got your main primary circulation pump that is for the outside unit, obviously for the primary, so it's got to be sized to the outside unit, whereas this is only a 5 kilowatt, only requires one pump because it doesn't need massive amounts of flow.
Yep.
And then next to it here on the return you've got the filter, so magnetic filter, ideally magnetic, just so they catch any dirt from the radiators or anything like that. And then further down, got your buffer, for your system. So the buffer is there for when it does the defrost, to just that volume of water, just so it can actually do the defrost properly via the schematic from Samsung. And then further down, you've got your flow switch, flow sensor down here, which basically relays back to this brain unit up here about the flow rate. So for Samsung, ideally, we want about sort of 3 times the size of the unit, ideally.
And what does the flow rate influence?
So the flow rate obviously influences the fact that if it's got a poor flow rate, the temperature difference between flow and return could be a bit higher, and also the machine has to sense it's got flow to actually want to start and actually want to do the heating or hot water. Going back to this side, you've got your heat and expansion vessel here, so obviously that's for the heating to expand to. Obviously all down here they've got the power supply, the controls for the brain. Main brain unit, obviously all the wires go back to here for the controls, so stat wires and the pump wires. So this is your main sort of control for the Samsung. This one, obviously hot water does not support because it doesn't have hot water in this one, but when we commission it, we basically set up the system via this controller to the design schematic that we get from when the building has been measured up and done heat loss calculations and all that sort of stuff. In here they've got the Samsung, that's the one for the Samsung, for the brain unit. They've got the heat pump one here, which is a B16, and then they've got an RCD here for the heat pump as well. And then next to it they've got an electrical meter for the heat pump as well, so that we can then check it for in the future whenever it's serviced or anything like that, to see if it's running efficiently, and also so it's not, running over what it should do really.
We supply all of this apart from the coppers and that one, is that right?
Yeah, most of it is supplied by us.
Yeah, and then as we looked outside, you got the tough coat insulation outside. Once you come inside, obviously you can switch to the 19mm standard grey armour flex. You don't need that weatherproofing inside, obviously, because you're inside. Right, so that is a fully installed heat pump. We've got the external unit, all the internal gubbins. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be doing some more complicated plant rooms another time, so something a bit more meaty on the next one, hopefully. But that is your basic air source heat pump setup. It'd be a great help if you don't mind liking and subscribing to this. And if you've got any questions at all, obviously our phone number, contact details will all be in the comments below as normal. Thanks very much.